Hey guys, Eclipse14 here, and welcome back to Let's Play Breath of Fire 2. Alright, so I'm at the end of the Sky Cave as just Nina, and this next room is a bit tricky. There are two treasure chests I need to pick up, as they both have great pieces of equipment for Nina. However, every time I take a step, these rocks move. So what I need to do is put myself in position to get into the stairways. Now the first thing I need to do is head for that right stairway, which is currently being blocked, and the other one's in the northwest corner of the room. Unfortunately, if I try to get too close and just try to, ride along the stone, it's not really going to work all that well. So what I need to do is just wrap around this one, this way, and eventually we'll have a stone heading this way, where I can actually just follow along until it starts heading back. Yeah, there are a few encounters here. This one I can probably whack with Typhoon and be done with it. Oh wow, you have your own Typhoon. Oh, right back at you. Idiot. Taste of your own medicine, that's for sure. Unfortunately, I will need to use these to heal. Hopefully I don't have to use too many. Anyway, let this run its course. Now it's heading back. Put myself here. And that's how you get to the chest. Inside is a wind bracelet, which, let's put that on her now. Oh, it's an accessory. That wisdom would be kinda nice. I'll just do the skull bracelet. Alright then. You can talk to the statues, by the way, and they just kind of taunt you in a sense. Okay, now the other one's a little tricky. Crodworm. I forgot what this is weak to. I don't think it's Sonic Boom. Lightning. I don't think it's fire either. I'll try anyway. Oh, critical and it takes it out. Okay, so maybe? I'm not sure. What I am sure about is I have to use another one of those. That hit kind of hard. Alright, there we go. Now I gotta make myself run around here. What's this? First strike against the gargoyle. I actually did not get a chance to see if this one's weak to anything. Let's try Typhoon. Let's see what we got here. Okay, it's weak to that. Well, that was honestly a lucky strike. If it wasn't that, I was going to do freeze. Actually, that also put myself in a very nice position to just go straight through. Well, I know where this is going. Out of sight, out of mind, nothing to worry about. Except the fact that I pretty much need to have Nina at max at all times. There's the other chest. Ah, damn it, what do we got this time? Alright, so Flame may not be... Or maybe, I don't know. Just hit. I'd rather Tornado than a physical attack, that's for sure. Maybe Flame does work. Well, anyway, this chest has a wind robe. Obviously a bit better than the ocean robe. I lose a little bit of wisdom, but everything else makes up for it. So, there we go. Ocean robe definitely served its purpose, though. Alright, now I gotta put myself in position to... Yeah, I gotta get in between the rocks. In such a way... Flame. It's an awkward position, but I basically have to be in between those rocks and then go up the stairs. And I think the position I'm in allows me that chance. Before I take a step further. Alright. Okay, so I was right. Typhoon. You whiffed, loser. Alright, so we'll head on. Let me check. I should be good here, to be honest, even with 70 AP. Walk on in, and there's one final talking statue. Oh, it came to life. Alright, and the final test begins against the Guardian. The Guardian's actually unique compared to all other bosses in the game, in that its HP and AP are tied to Nina's current max HP and AP. In other words, this is a pretty easy fight no matter what you do. All you really need to do, in the case of Nina's, well, my Nina, just hit freeze twice. Maybe only once if it criticals. Okay, no critical, unfortunately. Hit it one more time, and that's that. Yeah, it's real easy no matter what the Guardian does. Well, unless you're real low level, but I made sure not to have that happen. 2,400 experience and 700 Zenny for taking it out. With that, the Mark of the Wing is ours. But there's more. The armor goes down, and... would you look at that? This is the first game's Nina. in the way that the first game makes sense. Then there's this part. It's all but explicitly stated that it was the first game's Ryu she fell in love with, and I'll go ahead and explain everything as I make my way back out. With that, she flies away. This is an either option case, it doesn't matter. Which case, I'll go with yes. If you hit no, I think it's apology. Alright, so, before I do anything else, actually, hold up. Some W fruits. Bring that up to about 90, that's perfectly fine. This way I get the max usage out of that health BL, and have a little spare AP for some of the enemies that may show up. Okay, so the thing about, the first game's Ryu. There were 3 manga that were published between 93 and 95 that more or less added to the story of the first game. The first one was just a retelling of the events of the first game, which, well, let me type it in here. It is what it is. The second one, known as The Winged Princess, or Princess of the Wings, was something that took place shortly after the first game, and focused more on the relationship between the first game's Ryu and Nina, while the last one, which actually got published after this game released at the end of 94, focused on their son. So, yeah, all but explicitly stated in-game to be the first game's Ryu. And on top of that, this also means that, in its own weird way, I definitely need to heal after this. This version is Nina, and the reason the Black Wings exist in the royal family's tribe, royal family's lineage, excuse me, that's what I should have said, is because of dragon genes. And that's the reason the Black Wings actually exist. Wait a minute. So, yeah, in its own weird way, Nina's part dragon. Wild stuff. It's a massive wormhole, not gonna lie. Anyway, you need to get back here. Yes, I do, because I'm done here. So, yeah, a really wild set of events. Okay, I need to switch the order and put Nina in the back to keep her safe. And on the subject, she is fully healed, which is actually nice. I didn't have to use any more health BLs or wisdom fruit. Now I can just rely on bow. On a side note, I did read the first 2. I have yet to read the third one. So, they're neat little pieces of info. And, actually, the second game's, some of the characters of the second game kind of make a, I guess, immigrant appearance or something like that. for the Game Boy Advance version of the first game, since that was released in 2002, and that manga was drawn up over the course of 94. So plenty of time to add into that and more or less have the whole thing set in stone. Yeah, it's a wormhole beyond all recognition. Alright, so we're done here. All I need to do now is head back to the King's Chambers. And now I need to have Nina up front and speak to the King again. Everybody's asleep. Oh hey, that's Mina. Yeah, that's a bit of a problem. Everybody's asleep. Actually, just out of curiosity. Asleep. Asleep. I can't even get to Ryu. I thought there were going to be lines and stuff, because that's what happened with the first game, when I had just sole control of Nina only then. But in any case... and that's where we need to go. I am at 20 minutes, but I'm gonna let this go. The door won't open. Up the stairs, into the magic sigil. Goodbye, Mina. And there's the transformation. And it all works out. And with Nina in the party, anytime in the world map, she can call Mina. Alright, so I'm past 25 minutes. I'm just gonna go ahead and let her go for now. As I'm gonna go ahead and save. I'm pretty sure everybody's completely healed, right? Yeah. We're gonna head for the holy city of Evrai next episode. But for right now, I'm just gonna save this here. And with that, I will cut this off. Next episode, I'm doing just that. Infiltrating the city of Evrai. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.